It was a quiet morning in Los Angeles, the kind Catherine always preferred, away from flash bulbs, just family, just home. On January 30th, 2026, emergency calls came early. She wasn't breathing. Paramedics rushed her to the hospital, but after a brief, fierce battle with illness, she slipped away at 71. No grand announcement, no spectacle, just the private dignity she carried her whole life. Her husband, Beau, her sons, Matthew and Luke, held her close. The world learned later, and the tributes poured in like waves. Dan Levy calling her family, Eugene Levy remembering her as the heart of every room, Macaulay Culkin sharing how she made him feel seen. Seth Rogen said she made the world laugh until it hurt, in the best way. Catherine Ann O'Hara didn't chase the spotlight. She let it find her, then turned it into something warmer. Go back to Toronto, March 4th, 1954. A bustling Irish Catholic home in Etobicoke. The sixth of 7 children, second youngest, Catherine grew up in a house full of voices, laughter, arguments, and love. Her father worked for the Canadian Pacific Railway, steady and practical. Her mother handled real estate, keeping everything moving. Faith was woven into the days, Sunday Mass, family dinners, the quiet strength of a big family that taught her to observe, to listen, to find the humor in everything. She was shy, but that shyness hid a gift. She mimicked teachers, neighbors, TV stars perfectly. Her sister, Mary Margaret, would grow up to be a singer-songwriter, carrying that same creative spark. Catherine watched the world like a quiet stage, storing every quirk, every accent, every heartbreak behind a smile. By 1974, she stepped into the second city, understudying Gilda Radner. Then came SCTV in 1976, the wild late-night world of sketches that earned her an Emmy for writing. She was fearless, slipping into characters like they were old friends. But fame pulled her south. She tried Saturday Night Live in 1981 and left before anything aired. Homesick for Canada, uncomfortable with New York's grind, she chose comfort over conquest. A sacrifice most would call career suicide. She called it listening to her heart. That choice defined her. She never chased the biggest roles or the loudest headlines. She built a life where laughter was real, not manufactured. Then came the magic. Beetlejuice in 1988, Delia Dietz, wild-eyed and unforgettable. She met Beau Welch on set, the production designer whose quiet creativity matched her own. Sparks flew. Home Alone in 1990, Kate McAllister, the frantic, loving mom who made audiences cry and cheer. Christopher Guest's mockumentaries, Waiting for Guffman, Best in Show, her improvisational genius shining. And then, decades later, Schitt's Creek, Moira Rose, the role that brought Emmys, Golden Globes, and a whole new generation who discovered her heart. But behind every role was a choice to protect what mattered most. In 1992, she married Beau. They built a home full of creativity, him designing worlds on screen, her bringing them to life. Matthew arrived in 1994, Luke in 1997. Both sons followed their parents into film, Matthew in set dressing, Luke in related fields. Catherine spoke of motherhood as her greatest role. She turned down parts, skipped red carpets, kept her boys out of the tabloids. "I want to be surrounded by laughter and family," she said once, "in my final moments." She meant it. She sacrificed the relentless Hollywood climb for quiet evenings, school plays, inside jokes. She had a rare condition, dextrocardia, organs on the wrong side, but she never let that define her. She let love do that. In her last interviews, she glowed with pride for her sons, for the laughter she gave the world. She joked about aging, about life, but always returned to gratitude. "You gotta look for the light," she said, and she did. Her final public moments at the 2025 Emmys, at premieres, showed grace even as frailty crept in. She was surrounded by love until the end. Catherine O'Hara didn't just make us laugh. She reminded us that the deepest joy comes from the people we hold close, the quiet choices we make, the way we choose heart over hustle. Rest in peace, Catherine. Your light, your wild, tender, brilliant light, endures in every laugh you gave us, every family that felt a little warmer because of you.